The man opens his bank account and suddenly finds $92 million inside. He bursts into laughter. But what happens next wipes the smile right off his face. He rushes to a law firm, planning to withdraw part of the money and finally live large. Instead, the lawyer tells him something shocking. He has given up shares worth $90 million, and in exchange, he only kept a small envelope filled with ordinary household items. The man is completely confused. Who would be stupid enough to trade $92 million for junk, turns out. That idiot is him, because the documents all carry his own signature. His name is Mike. Mike is a top-level engineer, but not an inventor. What he does is copy technology. Any advanced product placed in front of him can be perfectly replicated within 2 months, sometimes even improved. Because of this rare talent, major tech companies secretly hire him to steal competitors' technology. He makes insane amounts of money, but there's a rule in this business. After every job, his recent memories must be erased. That way, clients can't be traced or exposed. However, repeated memory wipes come at a terrible cost: his brain. Temperature keeps rising. Once it reaches 43 degrees Celsius, he'll become permanently unconscious. His physical condition is also declining fast. His agent warns him to quit while he still can, otherwise he might not live long enough to enjoy the money. But Mike doesn't care. He never questions what memories get erased. To him, only fast cars, luxury cities, and beautiful women matter. Soon, Mike receives another offer. This one lasts 3 years. Payment, $90 million. Without hesitation, he accepts. The next day, he arrives at the company. A bald executive greets him. Before entering, Mike is forced to hand over all personal belongings, wallet, keys, everything. Then the man pulls out an injection gun. Mike freezes in fear. They explain it's a safer memory marker injection. Once the project ends, another shot will erase everything without damaging brain cells. Mike doesn't suspect a trap. After all, the company owner, Jimmy, is his old classmate. He cooperates. Inside the lab, Mike meets Rachel, an engineer. The two quickly grow close. Knowing they'll even become neighbors pushes Mike to work harder. His main partner is Dr. William. Together, they spend the next 3 years locked inside the research facility. Then suddenly, 3 years pass. Mike receives the final injection. Everything about those 3 years disappears from his memory. Back home, he checks his bank account. The money is there, $92 million. But at the law office, reality hits him. He traded away his fortune for a bag of random items. He immediately calls Jimmy. No answer. Instead, FBI agents burst in and arrest him. He's accused of stealing classified government technology. The charge equals treason. Possible death sentence. The FBI shows him the contents of the envelope. At first, they seem meaningless, but when they place a watch on his wrist, it fits perfectly. Mike falls silent. Then they play a video. Dr. William, his former partner, was actually a weapons expert. After his government project was cancelled, he secretly transferred classified technology. Before the FBI could collect evidence, William mysteriously died. All patents now carry Mike's signature. He was framed, but with his memory erased, he has no way to prove his innocence. The agents attempt to recover his memories using brain scanning equipment, but fail. During the interrogation break, one agent lights a cigarette using Mike's lighter. That small mistake changes everything. Smoke fills the room. Mike breaks free. He grabs a pair of goggles from the table, night vision. Using the chaos, he escapes the building. Outside, the executive watches in disbelief. Mike runs into the central train station with FBI agents chasing him. A passerby drops a folder. While helping pick it up, Mike notices a transit card inside. Using it, he escapes through the gate. Later, he examines the envelope again. Every small item inside seems to help him survive. But he still doesn't understand why he chose them. Then a thief steals one of his rings and runs. Mike follows, and ends up back at the same law office. The receptionist reveals the truth. Mike mailed the envelope to himself. Everything inside belonged to him. At the same time, Jimmy realizes the truth. Mike's real job wasn't copying technology. He was building a machine that can predict the future. And Mike clearly sabotaged access before wiping his own memory. Now, holding useless-looking items, hair gel, tools, clips, coins, lenses, Mike knows one thing. He sacrificed $90 million for a reason, and he is determined to uncover the truth. When the lottery numbers are announced, they match perfectly. At that moment, Mike finally understands everything. Without the cigarette and night vision goggles, he never would have escaped the federal building. Without the transit card, he couldn't have outrun the pursuit. Without the ring, he never would have returned to the law office. Giving up the $90 million wasn't a mistake. It was done on purpose so he would pay attention to those useless items. That's when Mike realizes The truth, he must have seen the future, and mailed these objects to himself in advance as secret tools for survival. Meanwhile, engineers finally discover why the machine can't be accessed. Mike planted a virus inside the system. They can remove it, but it will take time, which also means they no longer need Mike alive. Jimmy immediately orders his men to kill him. Assassins quickly surround Mike. Once again, the items save his life. He hands the emergency exit key to his agent and sends him to safety, while he lures the killers into the subway tunnel. Using hairspray and a lighter, he creates a flamethrower. To survive, Mike jumps onto the train tracks and uses a paperclip to activate the emergency brake system. Once again, he escapes death by seconds. Meanwhile, the FBI analyzes fragments of Mike's erased memories, combined with Dr. Williams' records. They realize the truth: Mike has seen the future. The director gives a direct order: capture Mike alive, no matter what. At the same time, Mike makes another discovery. The gift box logo leads to a coffee shop chain. He calls customer service and learns something shocking. He reserved 2 seats for tomorrow at 1 p.m. For 3 years, Mike and Rachel work side by side, but after Mike disappeared, Rachel becomes depressed. What she doesn't know is that she's being secretly monitored by the company. After she leaves, Jimmy's men search her room. They find a message on the mirror: meet me at the cafe at 1 p.m. Jimmy immediately comes up with a plan. Mike probably doesn't remember Rachel's face, so they send another woman with a similar body type, installing a hidden camera in her clothing. Everything Mike says is transmitted live, but the fake woman makes a mistake. Mike vaguely remembers Rachel had blue eyes. This woman is wearing colored contacts. He tests her by asking about his favorite baseball team, before she can answer. The real Rachel appears. She knocks the imposter down with her backpack. At the same time, gunmen outside open fire. Mike pulls Rachel down just in time to avoid being shot. They grab the access card and escape, running into an open parking lot. Mike remembers something: there's a car key inside the envelope. He presses the remote, nothing happens. Rachel looks at the BMW dealership nearby. They realize they're at the wrong location. The FBI checks records and discovers Mike ordered a motorcycle. The key was shipped weeks ago. The chase begins. Mike crashes through glass doors on a motorcycle and disappears into traffic. Police cars surround him, but the small bike gives him the advantage. He speeds into an underground tunnel. A police car follows close behind. The narrow passage leaves no room for mistakes. Suddenly, steel pipes appear ahead. Mike swerves past them. The police car isn't so lucky. The roof is torn open. Still, the officer refuses to give up. Rachel removes her helmet and throws it backward. The officer is knocked unconscious. The chase finally ends. Back at the hotel, Mike opens his photo album. 3 years of memories with Rachel fill the screen. Videos of laughter, love, daily life. But Mike remembers none of it. All he can do is apologize again and again. Suddenly, he notices something strange. The envelope had 5 stamps, but shipping only required 4. There were supposed to be 20 items inside, but he counted only 19. The 20th item was the stamp itself. Nearby is a university lab. Mike rushes there and examines the stamp under a microscope. Hidden inside are images of future newspapers. This is the consequence of his machine. It shows a coming world war. The US president launches a preemptive strike. The planet is devastated, and Mike realizes the horrifying truth: he caused all of it. He decides to destroy the machine and save humanity's future. The FBI also tracks Mike's movement pattern. He could have escaped anywhere, but instead, he's heading back to the company, because the envelope contains an access pass. The director orders an infiltration. They must get either the machine or Mike. Mike and Rachel reach the building. Using steel marbles, Mike creates chaos at security. They slip inside through the emergency route. Jimmy knows it's Mike, but allows him in. The engineers can't find the virus. They actually need Mike to activate the system. Jimmy orders guards to stand down. The door is left open. Intentionally, Rachel senses danger. The door shouldn't be open, but Mike is prepared. He uses the hex wrench to break the card reader, and jams it with a coin. Now they have time, before destroying the machine. Mike wants to see the future one last time, but he forgets. The virus prevents startup. Guided by instinct, he finds the server room. He remembers the markings he left behind. Following the clues, he removes the correct hard drive. The virus is hidden on the motherboard. He reconnects everything and activates the machine. Now Jimmy gives the kill order. He personally enters with a gun. Mike inputs his identity. After flashes of time fragments, the screen shows his future. Mike standing on a steel platform. A bullet flies toward him. He falls dead. Rachel is horrified. Mike comforts her. He's changed the future before. He believes he can do it again. Killers are breaking in, but the damaged door buys them time. Mike notices the hydrogen cooling launcher system. He attaches the bullet to the final launcher. Once fired, it will puncture the hydrogen tank and cause a massive explosion, enough to destroy the machine forever. As the assassins break in, Mike and Rachel disappear. Jimmy activates the machine to see Mike's fate. He sees the same future, Mike walking onto the bridge. After a brutal fight, Mike pushes Rachel outside and destroys the entrance behind her. He refuses to let her die with him. This is the best ending he can give her. With nothing left to lose, Mike confronts Jimmy face to face. Jimmy forces him onto the bridge platform. The FBI arrives. A company mole reports everything. The director orders Mike to be killed, not realizing he himself is the real villain. Events unfold exactly as the future predicted. But when Jimmy captures Rachel again, Mike makes one final move. The hydrogen launcher fires. The bullet hits the tank. A massive explosion erupts. Jimmy dies in the blast. But Mike and Rachel survive. Mike throws away his final life-saving watch. They disappear and start new lives. They open a small flower shop. But the story isn't over. The agent returns with the birdcage. Mike remembers the note: "If you only look at what's ahead, you'll miss what's hidden below." Rachel never threw the birdcage away. Mike opens the base. Inside is his true fortune, a $90 million lottery ticket. He never gave up his money, he simply hid it in the smartest way possible, and that's why Mike becomes the real winner. The movie ends here. Thanks for your watching. Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out.